Welcome to my Distinction 1 project. My name is Anvi Pham and my student ID is 22304 2074. Today I will take you through the details of the entire project. The content of this task is to use Python to analyze a dataset from YouTube containing data of videos related to COVID-19. And after collecting enough data using the collect file, I did some cleaning operation have been performed, including converting datetime data in the published at column in both data frame videos and comments into new columns like month, week, and year, as you can see on the screen. And additionally, converting the duration of column into seconds format in the videos data frame, as you can see. And finally merging the video and comments data frame using the inner and left merge method. After that, I perform some data exploration steps following the above cleaning operations, such as identifying null and duplicated value with both data frames doesn't have much no value. And additionally, some preprocessing steps such as converting data types or detecting outliers will be detailed in the following questions. So for the first question, E1.2, the question was, what is the total number of views, likes, and comments for the videos published by different news publishers, or also called channels? To answer this question, I'm gonna use the data frame videos. First, I'm gonna create some lists such as measurements, titles, X labels, or palettes. Those are the lists I'm gonna use to customize my plots. First of all, to visualize the data, I create subplots, and I respectively visualize the data using the bar plot and with the list that I defined before, and this is the final result. And from the plot, I have two main observations. First one is CNN and Fox News dominated all other news channels when leading in all three criteria like views, likes, and comments. And for the second observation, it is worth noting that although Fox News performed very well in attracting public's attention, as shown by its first place in the number of views and comments, however, its content does not satisfy viewers as its number of likes is lower than that of Fox News, as you can see on the green plot. Secondly, moving on to the E1.7, is there any relationship between the average length of comments on a video and its like count? For this question, I'm gonna use the video's comments in a data frame. First, I'm gonna drop all the nodes value in comment text from the video's comments inner data frame and assign it into a new variable called df_width_com. And afterward, I get the length of comments and save it in a new column called comment length in the df_width_com column. Then I group the data by the video ID and use the aggregate function mean to save the group object to calculate, and finally save the group object into a variable called length. Then I got a list of video ID from the length variable, and I convert them into a list object, which is called the list width. And then I extract the video and like count using the list, save the video and its like into the variable like. Finally, to get the data for the visualization, I merge the two data frame, length and like, to get a final data frame called df length like using the merge method from pandas. Afterward, I drop some outliers to easier see the relationship between them, and I chose the threshold of 40 for common length and 10,000 for line count. I also calculate the coefficient of correlation using the core method for the two column, and I rounded them with two decimal number. And finally, I plot the data frame. And from the plot, I have some of the observation. The first one is there's a negative weak relationship between the average length of comments and like count, indicated by the coefficient of correlation of minus one 0 point of minus 0.14. And I also think that more data is needed to explain the variation of like count. Moving on to the E1.3 question. How has the total number of comments per new publisher or channel changed over months? So to answer this question, I'm gonna use the video's comments inner data frame. First, I convert the publish at column to a datetime object and extract year and month. Then I calculated the total number of comments per channel title and year month using the group by method on the data frame and store them into a new data frame called df month. Then I have to convert the publish year month column by this format for the further visualization with Seaborn. And I also define a outlier removing function called IQR outliers based on the Tukey's rule of outliers detecting. And I applied this function to the df month on the common count column. And finally, I sorted them by the order of the channel title column and publish year month column. Finally, I create the figure object for the visualization, and I just customize, and this is the final results. So from this plot, I have three main observations. So the first one was the total comments of channels nearly experience in the same patterns with each other. As you can see, they nearly experience the same pattern, and which reflected the real world events related to the COVID-19. And for the second observation, at the beginning of 2020, when the COVID outbreak occurred, the level of interest from viewers was extremely high, as you can see, causing the data to peak during this period, especially with the Sky News channel. And subsequently, the data showed a decline before experiencing a significant increase at the beginning of 2021, possibly due to the rapid spread of COVID worldwide, which attracted more attention. But from September 2021, the interest began to gradually decrease until the end of the period given. So for the final question, how does the distribution of total of comments and likes vary across news publisher? So for this question, I use the data frame videos. So first I created a figure with two subplots for the like and comment, as you can see. And afterward, I created a list called measures, including the like count and comment count, and also the titles, which will be used for the plot customization. Afterward, I defined a function called IQR outliers, which will be used to remove all the outlier from the data. And to plot, I loop through the list measure, as you can see, and which come along with a running variable, which is index, created by the enumerate function. And to store the data for visualization, I created an empty list called list data And in this list, I will store like count and comment count for multiple channels as sublists. And then I to create those sublists, I have to loop through each channel with the unique, as you can see here. And for each element of the list, I extract data from the original data frame videos, and um, I just I just apply the uh, outlier removing function, and finally append the clean series into the list data. And finally, I just visualize the list data with this box plot method from Seaborn. So here's the result. And from the plot, we can see that overall, CNN and Fox News are the most prominent in both measures, like count and comment counts. And for the second observation, remarkably, there's an equal distribution of comments along the remaining 5 channels. However, they also demonstrate a discrepancy in the number of likes, as you can see here. Going through all the project, I think that the requirements of this task required a complex input data, and I found it quite hard to visualize it. However, I spent a lot of time on it and gradually improved the visual aspect of those plots, and I think I'm quite satisfied with my results. Thank you so much for listening.